mission accomplished. What's up? So she can play it. We'll see. I'm sure she did a lot more than one or two, and she actually gave a shit. I'm sure. Whatever. Moving on. I lost my screen where I can't see you guys anymore, so I have to rely on this Facebook thing over here. But if you can still see me, everything's good. All right. So forced social distancing. So we know the deal, everybody, right? We know the deal. We are supposed to keep 6 feet away from everybody. You go to the grocery store, they've got little stickers on the floor where you're supposed to put your feet. And I think, by the way, if you look at some of those feet, they're bare feet. So I don't think they want you to put your bare feet on them. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think I've seen those at HEB.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Are they bare feet?
I haven't paid that much attention to them. The one that I've gone to, I think it's been like shoe marks.
Maybe they were shoes. Yeah. Okay. Anyways,
you're probably thinking about Michio Okana.
I've been there only a couple times there. Get my carne asada.
There you go.
Anyways, social distancing, we know it. You can't gather anymore. And then I started seeing these things where there are churches that are trying to gather. And there was one that caught me in particular. Now I get it. Maybe you can't have more than 10 people in a church or something. Maybe we can't make that happen. My mom called it. I think we talked to my mom not too long ago in one of the episodes, and she told me she watches the live stream and prays at home, and you can still donate, I'm sure. I don't know if she's doing it through PayPal or Venmo or how they want to handle that. I think they would go through, as long as they can get their tax exempt, they got to holler at Venmo. Hey, we don't want that taxed, all right? That goes all through us. That's Jesus's money.
Exactly.
Anyways, what really got me going was this one where it was drive-in, like a drive-in theater where you park your car, tune the frequency on, and you get to watch a movie on a big screen. And they were trying to do that with a church, and it got shut down. And I go, out of all the things, I get it if there's more than 10 people, and I still don't agree that they'll shut it down or they need to shut it down like that. The 10 people are there. The damage has been done, Let's keep it going. But I thought it was egregious that they shut down a drive-in where everybody was in their own car, tuned the frequency of the radio to what the preacher said, some AM station or FM station, and he starts preaching. What's so wrong with that? And then they shut that down. Is that not unconstitutional?
Yeah, and it was funny because I was thinking about that earlier, and I mean, I haven't given this thought full attention, but it was like, isn't this almost the same argument as like my body, my choice? Like, if I want to go out and put my body in jeopardy, shouldn't I be able to do that? People have this argument of women want to say, well, it's my body, I should have whatever I want to say about my baby, whatever, right? Don't want to bring that argument up, but I'm thinking like, well, shouldn't we have something to say about our body? Because there's so many businesses who are losing money, who are almost going to tank because they cannot serve anybody, they can't do these things. And a lot of these businesses are saying, we're willing to put our lives in jeopardy because we would rather put ourselves in this harm's way than lose our money and not being able to provide. So I think this is almost like a my body, my choice kind of argument that I want to drain out of it just to piss off the left. But yeah, I do think it's unconstitutional. I think it's like, we should have the rights to do what we want to do. And if we want to go out and put ourselves in jeopardy of getting sick, then we should have the liberty to do that. And if you want to stay home, then you should have the liberty to do that. You know what I mean? But that's just the way I feel.
You see somebody out there and they're not wearing their mask or something, stay away from them. You have your mask, stay away from them. What are you doing outside anyways? Stay out. Stay out, exactly. Stay inside, And what's even worse is that they're stopping people laying on beaches just by themselves on a beach. And so I've got this from this news article here from The Sun. Can you pull that up there, Mr. Hard Hat there? Quad bike cops flying a drone swoop on a sunbather, laying in a deserted beach and fine him for breaking the lockdown. And this happens in Italy, though. But we tell you, we're not funny.
One of my friends reposted on Facebook the other day Um, I think it was in Laredo that they were fining people $4,000 for being outside of curfew, and I was like,
4,000.
Yeah, it was insane.
Well, not to mention, dude, also New York. They just said something.
Yeah.
Hey, if you're out there, you see somebody and you see a group of gathering or something, take a picture and send it
Hmm.
to this number, and we'll take care of it. We'll take care of the problem or something like that. Tattletaling all of a sudden. Now that's just what kind of world do we live in where they're just like, okay, you see some people walking out there and you take a picture of them.
But it's funny because they say that now, but when it was with Antifa, they didn't want to acknowledge any of that, right? When it was Antifa gathering together, beating people up, burning things down, doing all this stuff, they were like, "Oh, don't tell us about those group of people." But it's like if there's a group of people now not wearing masks, please call us and tell us about that.
Yeah. Oh, please, fuck the police. Fuck they're racist piggo cops, and these guys
Hmm.
are fucking killing black people at a historic rate, killing them. What's that? 10 people gathering? Excuse me, cops. We need you to take care of this problem, please.
I need help. I need help now.
Please, and thank you very much.
I
I
don't
think
know. But I was gonna say, if you ask me, and again, I think I got to stick to my brand of conspiracy theory. So if you ask me, I think this whole Corona thing is a hoax.
no.
Um,
How is it a hoax?
oh, well, I'm not in the sense of it's a hoax, like it's not real, but pretty much something that was done up by the Obama ministry, or not ministry, Obama ministry, Obama administration, with China partnering to do all this, releasing it. Like there's a lot of things that I've been reading about and researching, and it just seems like so many dots connect where it like if you don't see it, from Fauci, his connection with Obama, how they funded China, and even in that specific province to fund this testing that they were doing with this specific animal, and what a coincidence that that's the animal that's being accused for all this to be done. And it's like, why would they not want to blame China? Well, if Obama and Hillary and them are tied to China, well, then of course they don't want to blame them. So there's like a lot of crazy things that I think when you see the thread, it kind of connects in a weird way.
Well, we're going to be hearing about those conspiracy theories, I guess, in the future. We're going to be hearing
Hmm.
more about them, and you can tell us more about them. Let's get back to this guy on the beach here, because first of all, this guy's sitting by himself, and then all of a sudden, there's about two cops on ATVs surrounding him, breaking social gathering guidelines. But it's okay if it's the cops that are breaking the rules. It's okay if they're
Hmm.
the ones with the guns. It's okay if they have the power and you don't have the power. That's the bottom line of all this. It's like, why are we so willing to give government the power when we
Yeah.
have liberty, and they should know we have the choice? It's not like we want to go out there. Matter of fact, I think this keeps going with California bans protesting because you
Hmm.
can't go outside. So let me get this next link up here. This comes from SacB.com, the Sacramento Bee. Ooh, buzz, buzz, buzz. The news is buzzing over here. Following Monday's protests at the state capitol, where demonstrators defied Governor Gavin Newsom's order banning large gatherings, the California Highway Patrol says it will no longer issue permits for events at any state properties, including the Capitol. So that's why I wanted to get there. There was a protest all over the place, actually. It happened all over the
Hmm.
place. They called it Operation, was it Lockdown, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah, it was
Um,
something like that. I know there was something here in Austin also.
yeah, people taking pictures of them and going, look at these people. They are gathering, they're social gathering, and uh, they're gonna hurt people. The argument we get a lot about this, and it's not that I don't believe it's happening, and I think we should get to work, is that even they'll say now the flu does not kill as much as the coronavirus kills a year,
Hmm.
but it's pretty close still. But the flu has a vaccine, right?
Yeah.
And so those are the numbers with the vaccine. Imagine coronavirus with a vaccine. So we haven't seen
Hmm.
anything going on. We don't even know if we're going to get a vaccine at all or even close. I guess hydroxychloroquine, not so good, at least through this first study that comes out. And I guess it's not enough full case study or anything yet, but it's one of the studies that we've been waiting for, and that one wasn't so good. So we got more coming. Hopefully it still works. And I was saying in these previous shows, oh boy, I hope that's the thing, because we were so mad about the fake news talking about Trump touted this hydroxychloroquine, and this couple drank hydroxychloroquine and fucking died. The man died and the woman didn't die. And then we found out later that woman. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say it's for fish. Like, what was it like to clean the stupid fish tank? It's like,
That's right.
come on, man. And that's what I'm saying. Like, when and the reason, there's the first like week and a half, it was weird because I'm a very optimistic person. So even though this was going on, I was kind of like, all right, fuck it, whatever, we'll get through this. But then when we got laid off, and it was kind of like, all right, just to know that, it's better to be on unemployment than to not, and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, all right, cool, I get it. And after the first week, it was kind of like, oh man, like maybe this is real. Maybe this isn't a conspiracy, right? But then like after the second week, and definitely going into the third week of this, like just to see that the way that the media was treating this, and that the way the Democrats were treating this, and how they were using it as a ploy to get their agenda across, that's when I was like, wait, if you guys are not taking this serious, why should I? Like, you guys are using this as another way to say, oh, Trump failed as president, rather than saying, no, we must unite as a country. So once I saw them like not taking it serious, in my head, it was kind of like, wait, was this another try? Because when you just look at the way it went, every time they tried to get Trump on something and it failed, it would only be months until the next thing would pop up. And right before this happened, it was the Ukraine thing, and now this. So I just feel like it's too much of coincidence to have been an accident. That's all I'm saying. And that's kind of what I meant as a hoax. Like, it was too much of a coincidence to be an accident. However, this got released,
Yeah, there's something about the way that they keep doing things, and we know that they're back to trying to start an investigation on his conduct. And well, we'll get to that in a little later, because I do have something of him going to these making these task force meetings that are happening like almost every day. I guess they're every day, and how some networks are not going to show them anymore because they're riddled with inaccuracies,
misinformation and stuff.
Misinformation.
And that's crazy, because I think to myself, what other president would put himself out there this much for the people to see? Like, Trump is saying, not only is the media lying to you, let me put myself out there this much so you guys could see the evidence for yourself. You know what I mean? And that's why I feel like more people are coming to Trump's side, because they're watching these things, and now that's why they don't want to play them anymore, because it's like, damn, now we're being shown to be liars. You see people like Don Lemon and Cuomo going crazy on air, and it's like, yeah, because you guys hate your job and you're just fucking playing this game. And now more than ever is it coming out, even when Dan Crenshaw went off on Bill Maher. I don't know if you guys saw that interview, but he murdered him. And it's just like, now you see that the only reason Bill Maher is as intelligent as he seems is because of the way that the audience plays to his attention. But when you take all that away, you see that he can be bodied by anybody who has some sort of intelligence on what's really going on out, And I think Dan Crenshaw is a beast, and he just kind of like ruined Maher, I think.
I watched that too. And how many times have you heard that argument? Like, oh man, how you're so smart. How can you vote for or support somebody like this? I mean, you're so like someone with your intelligence. How can you do that? And that's just showing that they don't understand you. They don't understand, and it's their way or the highway. How can you think like that? Well, maybe you should try to make a standard thought on how somebody would think like that. That's called empathy.
Exactly.
If you can't think of how someone feels about it, they actually make it up, and they go, what's easiest to say? Sexist, racist. What the hell's going on there? And is that me? Is that me? I think that might be Brandon. He's messing around. I hope we're not off the air by any means, but we were talking about these protests here, and how was it in California? They banned it. They said no more. And for one thing, that you can't do that. That's unconstitutional again For one, listen, I'm no constitutional lawyer, or do I think I know everything about it, but I know the one thing about the Constitution is that there's something about freedom of assembly, freedom of speech and religion, and freedom to protest.
Mhm.
And that is part of freedom of speech, and that shall not be infringed. Bottom line is you can't do that. I don't care. They are overstepping. They're overstepping their role as the government. We get it. We don't have to protest, but I feel like people want to get back to work, and in some sort of capacity we can do it. And with, especially now that a lot of businesses got the bailout or the small business loan, they can put on the more employees again, and we could get a little bit back. Well, things are going to get a little weird. You're going to have to, if you're in the service industry, you're going to have to be loading into a lot of trunks,
Well, it's also like, come on, man. Like, you're telling me, right? Again, I don't believe in the form of macro evolution that people do. But if people believe in the science of evolution and survival of the fittest and all this kind of stuff, if that is your ideology and your philosophy in life, then the coronavirus is just another way of nature taking care of itself, and the people who survive, they survive, and the ones who die, they die. So it's even looking at that kind of mindset, kind of even what you were talking about earlier, Carl, was like trying to empathize, like even getting into that kind of worldview. Because I was reading this article that even said how from this April to last April, the name of Jesus has been searched 800 more times. So even this pandemic has made people search for God or have some sense of religion. You know what I mean? So I feel like this kind of has shaken so many people in a good way. And I think staying stuck at home has kind of made us have that angst of like, oh man, life is short and we want to go enjoy it. Let us enjoy it, even if we die. Like, let us enjoy some of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And while you were saying that, it got me to remember something else about Earth Day, because I want to cut right back into that real quick. The Earth Day conspiracy.
I love it.
Not only is Earth Day on the 22nd, they believe, and this is the conspiracy, that the man who invented it, who killed his girlfriend, they call him the Unicorn Killer. Let me just double check his name. Unicorn Killer.
Bro, you're giving me a lot of shit to research tonight, man.
This is his name is Ira Einhorn. So Einhorn, like in Ace Ventura.
Ace Ventura, Finkel and Einhorn.
Yeah. So it's Ira Einhorn. Okay. So, anyways, this guy is so commie, right? He's so commie. He wanted to make Earth Day on the 22nd of April. Do you know whose birthday is on April 22nd? Vladimir Ilyich Ulyanov. Ulyanov? Otherwise known as Lenin. So, by the way,
John Lennon?
No, not Lenin. Come on, don't you know who that guy is? Vladimir. Look it up. We'll go Vladimir
the Great?
No. Ilyich. Ulyanov.
I'm telling you, you're opening up this whole new world for me, dude. I'm loving it.
He was a former premier of the Soviet Union. So, and his birthday is today. So that's part of the conspiracy too. Anyways, let's moving on. Thought you can absorb that a little bit. Okay,
that's dope.
Got to get more into this this government overstepping the boundaries of what they can do. And here's one thing: sand dumped in skate parks. This comes from CBS News. This is unbelievable. California City fills skate parks with 37 tons of sand after people ignore no trespassing signs. Now, this is not cool. California is not messing around when it comes to prevent the spread of coronavirus during this pandemic. After skaters ignored the no trespassing signs on popular skate park in San Clemente, extreme measures were taken to prevent people from going to the spot. To be certain no one would go there and hang out or skate, the park was filled with sand. All parks in California have been shut down since April 1st, but some people took the ruling more seriously than others. According to the San Clemente Times, city officials say they noticed many people of all ages going in and out of the park that they should not be there. My goodness. They should not be there. You shouldn't be there. You shouldn't be there. You should shut the
Damn.
fuck up. You don't tell me where I should be. You don't tell me what I need. That's another thing. They'll go, you don't need that. You don't need 100 rounds, dude. You don't need that. You don't need a dog. What do you need a dog for? You know,
Yeah.
this is we have needs in this life, and they
Well, shit, look at
exceed.
China. China was like, well, you don't need a daughter.
They were
Right?
like, you
Like,
don't need a dog. We
we need a
got
daughter. We got a lot
okay.
of those.
Yeah, we got plenty of those. We're dude, we're chin up to those. Chin up. All right, anyways, that's more hypocrisy. So here's something else here. Now we're talking more back the stay-at-home protests, I think called Operation Gridlock, if you will, and Trump being accused of inciting these protesters. Now, this comes from a very reputable source here. They're called the Huffington Post. So let's see how they have nothing really good to say about Trump. So just prepare to hear something pretty gnarly about them or just completely false. But just listen to it first. Trump defends right-wing protesters fighting coronavirus restrictions. These are great people. All right. So President Donald Trump on Sunday defended right-wing protesters he has encouraged to rally against state coronavirus restrictions. Since last week, thousands of protesters in more than a dozen states have taken to the streets to demand stay-at-home orders to be lifted. Public health officials have warned that lifting restrictions too early can lead to a spike in cases. Yeah, it can. But the death rate's pretty low, I guess, and people are living with it. Just stay at, I think you know what? Fuck it. Don't listen to me. I don't have any of the answers for it. I listen to the experts, you know, but the experts are also sort of like, we should close down. But is that going to stop it? Listen, I'm not trying to get into it. Let's just keep reading this Huffington Post garbage, right? The protesters have been mostly right-wingers, anti-vaccination advocates, and gun rights activists who in some photos can be seen standing close together without masks or gloves. Oh no, in defiance of social distancing guidelines meant to slow the spread of the virus. Oh my goodness. Let's see if we can see some of these pictures here. Any of the pictures? No pictures. Let's get to Trump saying this. Can you go to that Trump tweet where he's saying something? It's in the same, you just got to scroll down a little bit there, Mr. Hardhat. And you'll see Donald Trump in the next one. Go down. Or I mean, I can't see it. I'm back a bit. All right, play that Aaron Rupar.
You referred to these protests earlier. You know, some of them are getting pretty intense, and we're actually getting some death threats and some governors who are reluctant.
You are in the media?
No, the governors are getting death threats. Now, governors of Kentucky, Michigan, Virginia, they're getting increased levels of death threats. And are you concerned that you're talking about liberation and the Second Amendment? Are you inciting violence among a few people?
I've seen the people. I've seen interviews of the people. These are great people. Look, they want to they call cabin fever. You've heard the term? They've got cabin fever. They want to get back. They want their life back. Their life was taken away from them. And, you know, they learned a lot during this period. They learned to do things differently than they have in the past. And, you know, they'll do it hopefully until the virus has passed. And when the virus passes, I hope we're going to be sitting next to each other in baseball games, football games, basketball games, ice hockey games. I hope we're going to be sitting next to each other. I hope you have golf. The Masters is going to have 100,000 people, not 25 people watching at the course.
So, I mean,
All right, now roll down to the end of this article here, and this is where it gets really good and juicy. Trump's enabling response to the protesters echoed his handling of the 2017 Unite the Right rally in Charlottesville, Virginia, where neo-Nazis protested against taking down Confederate monuments in a violent white supremacist rally that left one counter-protester dead and dozens injured. Wow. After the Charlottesville, which is, by the way, really bad. It's stupid. But again, this is where they're going to try to say that these people that are protesting, probably the same type of people that would be at the Unite the Right rally, you know, the people that weren't Antifa, because Antifa is only there because they're against fascists. So anyone that they're fighting is obviously a fascist, right? But they keep saying it over and over. We had a listener. He doesn't listen anymore because he loved Jimmy so much that he left with Jimmy. Just he called me evil, very bad. He would have loved you, by the way, David. You would have loved him. But do we keep forgetting that he denounces them over and over? He denounces white supremacy, neo-Nazis, but he goes, Trump said that Nazis are very fine people. He says that. He said they're very fine people. Trump never says that Nazis are very fine people, but the left just keeps forgetting. Put on that video there, Mr. Brandon.
Taken out of context.
Yeah, taken out of context. And let's play it in its full context so we can prove it once again. It's the YouTube video right here. Mr. Hardhat.
Economic issues in greater detail later this afternoon. But based on the events that took place over
You got two things playing. There you go. These technical challenges on this show, that's just how it rolls, my man. It's just how we do it.
That's how you know this ain't no fake.
that were very fine people on both sides. You had people in that group, excuse me, I saw the same pictures as you did. You had people in that group that were there to protest the taking down of, to them, a very, very important statue and the renaming of a park from Robert E. Lee to another name. George Washington was a slave owner. Was George Washington a slave owner? So will George Washington now lose his status? Are we going to take down, are we going to take down statues to George Washington? How about Thomas Jefferson? What do you think of Thomas Jefferson? You like him? Okay, good. Are we going to take down the statue? Because he was a major slave owner. Now we're going to take down his statue. So you know what? It's fine. You're changing history. You're changing culture. And you had people, and I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis and the white nationalists, because they should be condemned totally. But you had many people in that group other than neo-Nazis and white nationalists.
And that's who he's talking about. Thank you, Brandon, for playing that. That's who he's talking about here. And then again, he defends it. Washington Post here denounces them completely. I think even by name. And look at in Washington Post, Trump denounces KKK, neo-Nazis as repugnant. Yeah, that's a word. Repugnant. Repugnant. Man, crazy. Anyways, as a response to Charlottesville, over and over, like we have to keep defending that. Oh, he's a Nazi. People will say, "Oh, okay, fine. He's not a Nazi." But the Nazis, neo-Nazis, love him. You got it. He emboldens them with this kind of rhetoric that he has, and they're emboldened, and now they're coming out in force. And they're the people we have to worry about, David.
No, yeah, and I mean, I don't know. When this is the kind of stuff that kind of pushed me more and more to the right, was when you would see the headline and then you would see the full context, or you would actually read the article, and the headline was this disinformation that was, so the other day, my wife was like, "Oh, do you hear we have to now wear masks?" And I think it was like a week after the whole Corona thing happened. It was like mandatory masks. And she was like, "Man, we got to wear masks." And I'm like, "Well, let me see." And I read, I just skimmed the article, and it's not that you have to wear masks. They're not mandatory. It's more suggested. So it's like, you see how people try to get clickbait, or they just want to shake you and scare you. And it's that kind of stuff is what made me go more and more to the right, when you saw how the media would twist the words of not just Trump, but so many other people to just, again, get their agenda across. And the more you see that, the more that the beauty of Hollywood begins to fade away.
Well, yeah, speaking of which, man, lying and misleading, let's go to this next link here. And we got the Nazi flag at a Trump rally. Now, this is something that struck me, because I do see what I do see here. And if you want to pop up that picture here, we've got a photo of a man holding up a Nazi flag, and it says Trump and Pence, and it's a Nazi flag. This is terrible. And if you look up Nazi flag, and I don't think I made any links to them, but the bottom line here, is that now people are responding to it now. If you look at some of these extra pictures, you see that he's actually on the Bernie side. So it's like there was a Trump side, there was a Bernie rally, or there are people for Bernie anti-protesting or counter-protesting the Trump people, and this guy showed up with his hate Nazi shirt on, and you see on the bottom right there, and go to the left there, he's got a Bernie sign, and then he's up close, that's him, and then that's him holding the Nazi flag there. And then I looked into this, and if you look into some of the comments, people are the defenses. Oh, this guy's obviously protesting Trump, and I go, okay, how is that going on by putting that up there? You are the one holding on to a swastika right now. You're the one holding on to that. You're the one that owns that flag. You supported that flag by buying that or something.
Well, yeah, and you can see how he's intentionally standing behind the Trump people and the American flag people, and not not in front of the Bernie people.
That's right.
He wants to make it seem like he is a part of the Trump crowd.
And maybe somebody was like, "Hey, go over there, pull that out real quick, snap the quick picture. It's going to go viral," and boom. That's how you make a bunch of redneck Trump supporters look way, way bad, because that's what they all are. And by the way, the guy's wearing a dead Kennedy shirt, I think, or something like that, and it's got the swastika that's crossed out. Like, dude, from far away, all I see is that fucking swastika. Dude, I get it. Fucking Nazis are bad. I hate them. I wouldn't sport a swastika no matter what it is. I wouldn't sport a swastika that's got a cross through it. It's like, what the fuck? You own something that has a swastika on it. You maybe look at that as you have a swastika. Take it easy. Take it freaking easy. All right. And let's go to this next one here. Trump shows off the timeline at a press conference showing how well he and his team have responded to the virus, because there's been
I saw that.
Tons of things where people are like, Trump is to blame. Trump's to blame for this, man. Like, he knew that this thing was going on. The WHO was saying all sorts of stuff, man, saying, this is human-to-human contract, man. Contracting, whatever it all is, man. And we got to be careful here, man. But you didn't do it, Donald. You certainly didn't do it in time, and you killed a couple 100,000 people.
The blood's on your hands.
Blood's on your hands, man. Yep. So let's watch this video that Donald Trump had to deal with.
Now with the flu in this country.
A lot of people are concerned about.
What's that? Man, I don't know what happened to this other.
Was this? It's not gonna
window.
Just want to go on. It's not gonna play this.
All right, don't worry about that. Maybe you can find it. Anyways, let's go to this Washington Post link here, because it all goes into, well, bottom line, if you watch the Bill Maher, Dan Crenshaw interview, which I recommend, it was rather good, a good way of understanding how to talk to somebody that's got TDS. I mean, he's so calm and collective and articulate. And that's what's real helpful. And he goes in to saying how Trump handled this, and how Trump did the ban, the travel ban from China, and how Joe Biden himself was calling it xenophobic. And he said the thing. So let's go to this Trump false claim here, because Trump's been saying the WHO, not the ban, but the WHO, the World Health Organization, just they didn't do things correctly, and we're going to defund them. And he's pretty teed off about that. By the way, let's see here. So this is a fact check. Trump's false claim that the WHO said the coronavirus was not communicable. So we can do that one, but let's go to the next one, Brandon, because this is the fact checkers, because basically they're saying that this is a false claim. They did not say that. But then we look at the fact, and this is many times I've done this on the show with what was it? It's not PolitiFact, but it might be PolitiFact. But they would say things like, Trump said that we pay the most for everybody's fucking military or something. It was like that, and they said that's false. But then they go, it is true that we do pay a very big lump sum of it, maybe more than everybody else. It's like the way that they're saying it is this throws out the fact that you said that was false a second ago. So the Blaze here, the Washington Post fact check rates Trump claim about WHO false and provides at least 9 examples showing that it was actually true. And so let's go here. This is written by Leon Wolf. What a name, Leon Wolf, with no hair on his head. You'd think that a wolf would have, be wolfmanish. In a remarkable display of journalistic activism, the Washington Post rated one of President Donald Trump's recent claims about the World Health Organization as false, then proceeded to include dozens of examples illustrating why the claim is actually true. The claim in question concerned Trump's assertion, in explaining why he was halting funding to the organization that through the middle of January, WHO parroted and publicly endorsed the idea that there was not human-to-human transmission, despite reports, and clear evidence to the contrary. The WHO pushed China's misinformation about the virus, saying it was not communicable. Am I saying that word right? It sounds like I'm saying it right. Yeah, so the Washington Post fact checkers rated this as a false claim and went on to note the following facts. That the WHO's initial alert from December 31st, 2019 about the virus indicated that there was no evidence of human-to-human transmission in spite of warnings from the Taiwanese CDC that this may or might have been possible. The Washington Post fact check dismisses this as irrelevant because, quote, at best, we're talking about the last 2 days in December, that the WHO might have been warned. So however, the fact check goes on to note that the WHO issued news release on January 5th, which stated, based on the preliminary information from the Chinese investigation team, no significant evidence of human-to-human transmission and no health worker infections have been reported. And it just keeps going on here. January 9th. So when does this become a true claim that they didn't know anything, and they're the ones that they ignored the Taiwanese, and they're the ones to blame. It's never lately. It's been let's kowtow to Chinese, man. They're definitely not the ones to blame for this. You can't call it the Chinese virus because that's racist all of a sudden. But you can't say kung flu. You can't.
Even though it's funny.
It's hilarious, by the way, but people think that you're hurting people, and the Asian community is getting really hurt by this. It's getting really, really hurt by this. All right, we got to keep moving on here. Got about a half an hour left. You guys what do you think? Give us a call. Everyone drops that. No one really likes this show. We suck, by the way. Let's keep going. This is CNN. So this has to do with Elon Musk and ventilators.
Oh man.
Now, this is a great one. So Elon Musk promised ventilators never delivered to California hospitals. Governor's office says. Elon Musk said, and this comes from CNN Los Angeles, April 16th. So this is a couple days ago, maybe a week ago, and I might have picked it up right. This might have been Tuesday news here. Elon Musk said last month that he obtained more than 1,000 ventilators to help California hospitals treating patients infected with the coronavirus, an effort California Governor Gavin Newsom hailed as heroic. Now, more than 3 weeks later, the governor's office says that none promised ventilators have been received by the hospitals. At a March 23rd news conference, Newsom said the devices, which can provide life-saving support to patients infected with the virus, had already arrived in Los Angeles and were on their way to hospitals in need. I told you a few days ago that he was likely to have 1,000 ventilators this week, Newsom said. They've arrived in Los Angeles, and Elon Musk is already working with Hospital Association and others to get those ventilators out. He's a freaking hero. Shortly after the dramatic announcement, Musk said in a tweet, China had an oversupply, so we bought 1,255 FDA-approved ResMed, blah, 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 ventilators on Friday night and airshipped them to LA. If you want a free ventilator installed, holler. And despite the claims, none of the ventilators promised by Tesla have been delivered to the hospitals, according to the governor's office. Now, it goes on a little bit more. Elon Musk, he told him, we said this. Think about this. They're saying that, and so we're going to look into this next link here. Elon is going to strike back. So Elon's like, hey, what are you talking about, man? Like, here are the fucking receipts, man. This comes from Mediaite here. And we'll just get to the good stuff here. Tesla and SpaceX CEO Elon Musk attacked CNN on Thursday after the network claimed in a report that Tesla's promised ventilators were never delivered in hospitals. Quote, 3 weeks after Tesla, blah, 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 obtained, blah, 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 blah. Sorry, I read all that in the last thing there. And then it goes into his tweets here. So let's go to that first tweet down there in that picture. It goes 3 weeks, and this is CNN going, and Elon Musk goes, what I find surprising is that CNN still exists. I think because he shows the receipts and showing how they were here. They worked great during testing today. We'll put these to use tomorrow. And Tesla's like, Mr. Tesla's like, come on, I got this. I got your back here. Are you looking at this here? Anyways, I literally have the receipts. This is so dumb. CNN has not been updated to this article with Musk's response. And here's the thing. They didn't even have to print it that way. You know, they're trying to point finger and make people look bad. You know, they didn't have to print that out. They could have done a little bit of, I don't know, sourcing of their information. Now, whether or not what they'll say is, oh boy, we're just fucking quoting the governor's office. Well, yeah, you quote the governor's office, and then what do? You call Elon Musk and you go, hey, dog, did you get those things yet? And then we don't have to print a story, but we go, oh, no, we got something juicy and we're going to sell more fucking ads. CNN fucking fake news fucking BS again.
Caller, you're on the air. Caller, you're on the air.
Okay, let me check my Bluetooth out and pay attention to the real deal here. What's up, fellas? Hash Brown here. Hi.
Oh, what's up,
Hey.
Hash Brown? What's happening, dude?
I feel like I'm interrupting a serious political debate here. I wasn't prepared for.
Well, that's okay. What did you want to talk about?
I wanted to play a game. Last time I tried to play a game, I got fucked over, and I want to play a game.
Well, we don't have any games ready to play. So, I'm sorry. All right. Well, what's the shape of Italy?
What game do I want to play?
What's the shape of Italy? Get ready to kick them off because it's the boot. All right. Sorry, Hash Brown. I can't hear you very well, and your audio is pretty bad. So sorry, man. Neil Anderson's back online. What's up, man? He's saying live from Austin, Texas. That's right. I don't know if that's where you're from, but that's not where we're from. We're in a floating tin can far above the world. All right. So did they or did they not receive the vents? KTLA got the answer. So let's look at that next link, my man, Mr. Brandon, the hard hat Mitchell. KTLA, look at that pretty picture of that South African man. Elon Musk said last week that he obtained more than 1,000 ventilators to help the blah, 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 and he was called blah, 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 blah. Now, 3 weeks later, the governor's office. Now, this is basically trash. I'm sorry to bring up that fucking thing. Okay. The ventilators are there. Matter of fact, they said we got enough, and now we can give them out to other people. New York is also fucking saying we didn't have enough, but now we have enough all of a sudden, and then we're back to normal. We're good. We don't need them. We don't need as many as we'll be back to normal. We'll be just fine. So I want to go to some funny stuff. Let's go to funny stuff. Let's watch this video because now we know that Mr. Biden is probably going to be the front runner, and we're going to have 3 glorious debates against Donald J. Trump. So what do you think, David, about Joe Biden?
As a person or as a candidate?
Well, as a candidate, have you ever watched a full speech of his?
I've tried. So I've watched a lot of the debates. And they didn't let him talk much then either, but Yeah, I'm not a fan of Biden. I think Biden is a freaking creep. I think that I don't know, man. He seems like such a shady dude. You know what I mean? I just don't trust him. And the thing about like the thing that I've come to see about the Trump name calling has been how all of his names have come to life. You know what I mean? Like people would always give him crap for saying, "Oh, crooked Hillary," but the more that we come to find out about Hillary Clinton is that she's really crooked, or Sleepy Joe. And now the more that we come to find out about Joe is that he really is sleepy, like he doesn't know what's going on, or like all these nicknames he has for people. Like he was so criticized about that in the beginning, and now people, or even using the term fake news, like he was criticized about this for so long until people started jumping on the bandwagon and saying, "Wow, he's right. The news is fake." And so even with all this, it's just like, it's crazy when you see someone like Joe Biden and there's more than enough information out there that has been shown to show him crooked that you could find anywhere that's easily accessible of him touching girls or whatever it is. But then when you see Trump, it really isn't, right? Like they try to pin them against each other, but like if they really wanted to find dirt on Trump, they would have found it already. And it's very easy to find it on Biden. So I feel like it's not even going to be I just really want to see what Biden does against Trump because I think it's gonna be funny.
Yeah, and Bernie. I thought Bernie was actually going to go pretty far, but he didn't actually go very
Same,
far. And so
same.
we got Progressive Joe over here. I think Progressive Joe's pretty. It's pretty funny there, Progressive Joe. You know, the only thing progressive about Joe is his dementia. That's
Yeah,
progressive. That's the only thing
it's very
progressive about the guy. Yeah. Anyways, let's play this video because now he's been endorsed. Everyone's endorsed him. By Bernie's endorsed him, and even now his old pal Obama has finally endorsed him. You want to thank him with a little nibble. Play this video.
insane.
Won't play it.
It's not playing.
Private. It won't play it.
Oh, bummer. Jesus, Murphy. Can you play it? Can we play it from me? I don't even know if I can get my screen up. Never mind.
If you tell me what the video is. you'll probably find it.
Yeah, it's I don't know. Shoot. Too bad, man.
Yeah.
Let me
All right.
see. This 2 times in a row where I couldn't I messed up on a link. It's just it's not a good look, man. But it's too bad. Too bad. Sorry. It was a
It's
funny
the
little
virus.
thing.
It's the virus has gotten into everything.
Oh, that's too bad. But anyways, it's a joke. It's basically doesn't. It's unflattering. It zooms in on him taking a nibble of his wife's fingers or whatever, and it like superimposes a little bit of Barack Obama in there, and it's like, well, don't do it, man. Now he's forced to endorse him. He could have endorsed him a lot earlier. But anyways,
Long time ago.
Twitter suspends a prominent conservative for using Joe Biden's meme maker here. So we're going to go into this Red State article. And a lot of people don't think Red State's a very reputable source, and that's just because they may not handle opinion and the news responsibly. But we can still use this because this is actual news here. Well, someone actually got suspended. So last month, Twitter has suspended the accounts of dozens of conservative bloggers, writers, podcasters, pundits, and politicians, including our own Nick, whatever his freaking name is, without reason. Two very prominent accounts, Rudy Giuliani and Turning Point USA's Charlie Kirk, were, quote, temporarily locked for violating the Twitter rules regarding COVID-19 misinformation. Whatever they deem as misinformation, of course, that's what's going on here. That's just all that's going on here. Nothing to see here. Why is it okay to do that? Not sure. But nobody can take a fucking joke, and a lot of it are these memes, right? Let's see. Are there any memes in this that those? Oh yeah. So the memes here will. This is what got them banned here. I'm on Team Joe, and it's Chairman Z, and it's like behind a communist flag, and text Joe to 30330, and people are like, "This is misinformation." Yeah. Do you think the Democrats are going, "Oh, really? Oh, Chairman, he's all about the fucking Team Joe"? Do people think that these aren't jokes here? Let's see, is there any more? That's just one of the good ones there. Anyways, let's go to the next link here. yeah, geez, I got through all my stuff. So let's go to this wonderful Trump stuff here. And this is a great Trump video of just a big Trump nope. So I thought we can watch this funny video whenever Brandon's ready.
Here over the weekend. I think this is the part that we really need to take personal responsibility for.
Nope. Yeah, I'm gonna play it again. I can't find where that other screen went, so it's so freaking weird. Oh, it's right here. Maybe it's right here. Oh, there she goes. Okay, all right. So we're getting through a lot of this stuff here, man. Jeez.
Here over the weekend. I think this is the part that we really need to take personal responsibility for. Saturday, I had a little low-grade fever.
There it is. Yeah, play that again. Play that again.
Perfect comedic timing.
Over the weekend. I think this is the part that we really need to take personal responsibility for. Saturday, I had a little low-grade fever.
No, I'm gone. Peace out.
Later. He's like, later, bitch. I ain't gonna get sick. I'm the president. You feel me?
And so yeah, here's Trump announces defunding of the WHO, because obviously they mishandled information that could have really helped us out here, and we could have had a travel ban that was sooner. All that crap here.
The World Health Organization, while a review is conducted to assess the World Health Organization's role in severely mismanaging and covering up the spread of the coronavirus. Everybody knows what's going on there. American taxpayers provide between 400 million and 500 million.
What's going on? Yeah.
The WHO in contract.
Got a poor connection over there. That's okay. You know, he's streaming all this stuff, man. You know, that's going to happen. Sometimes that happens. But anyways, defunding it. Maybe someone else can put some money into it. Maybe China can put a little bit more money into there. God knows that we didn't freaking release the fucking virus. And now there's even more evidence, and maybe we can look this up. He was on Tucker Carlson.
You hear about how that we may be we have warships going in China, with some American warships in Australia, going to China because I think China is trying to start something with like North Korea or something like that because Kim Jong-un or whatever is down.
Yeah, I heard something about that. Mr. Kim Jong-il is not feeling so good, and his sister is the next to be on the throne. So, and they showed a picture of her. Can you pull up her picture? Her name is like Young, Kim Jong Young, I think it is.
Yeah.
And she, dude, the straight picture of her like looking like this. She's straight fucking pissed looking. She's
gangster, bro.
Oh man, I'm ready to. Oh boy, give me the fucking throne.
She's like, she's like, you thought my brother was bad. Just wait,
fuck, dude.
She's like, just wait till I get my period.
No, she'd be the supreme leader. Supreme leaders don't have their period. She's so efficient.
She gets somebody else to have it for her. That's very smart.
Yeah, she's wearing it right there. Let's see. You're just looking through some pictures. Yeah, but anyways, it was a pretty recent article, so I thought it'd be up there. It don't matter. It don't matter. It don't matter at all. So
you sound like Bob Ross.
It don't matter at all.
It don't matter.
We got Neil Anderson saying, surely someone else can pick up the tab for the WHO. That's what I'm saying, man. That's what I'm saying. So let's go into some Democrat stuff, and we got a few minutes left here, and I thought we can talk about how Trump trashes Aunt Nancy, calling her a third-rate politician. Meanwhile, they're trying to open up another investigation on his response to the pandemic. Let's watch that video or this Twitter.
They're not going to play.
They're not playing because they're just not loading up.
Yeah.
They're kind of
It's always
imperative.
for some reason.
It's always Twitters that do that.
Yeah, that's what it seems like.
Well, anyways, maybe you can look up this video. There was a video that who put that out? Do you know which one I'm talking about, David? With Nancy, she was talking about all these ice cream and everything.
Yeah, where she's encouraging people to go to Chinatown and all that kind of stuff. And like, by the time she was saying that, Trump was already talking about putting a ban on China and traveling and all that stuff. And so the argument is, if this was as serious as you say it is, why are we asking people to go out if you're disagreeing with everything that I'm saying?
Right, and that's exactly right. But then there's actually
and again,
another.
And that's what I mean by the hypocrisy. It's kind of like you're saying this thing, but when you look at the evidence, like a few days ago, you were calling everybody to go out. So what's the truth?
Yeah, and dude, they were saying, "Oh, masks. We don't need to be wearing masks yet," you know. And then that's all of a sudden, no, we got to be wearing masks. We got to be. So they were all reporting this stuff, and Trump's to blame because he, xenophobic and all that stuff. Not to mention, there's this video, and I want you to look for it, Brandon. It's Nancy Pelosi and her ice cream, and it's the ice cream video. And let's see if we can watch this actual video of this. She is in love with ice cream, and she doesn't know what she's going to do with it if she didn't have ice cream. Let's see if you could find that, Mr. Guy. That would be so great.
I don't think I've seen this one.
Thank goodness we have more Twitter, huh?
Let's give it a try.
Maybe you can just like search on YouTube or something.
Yeah, stall for time. I'll do that real quick.
Oh, that looks like a picture.
She was talking about how she's got this special gelato, and it's like my favorite. It's my favorite, and then it shows, and I think Donald Trump puts it out, and it's all about her saying this and how she's definitely done some stalling in these relief bills, right? I mean, the first one that I can think of is that the relief bill for the small business loans, how they were stalling on that. The Republicans wanted more and they said no. They kind of stalled that, but then eventually it went through, but now it's empty. And so now they're passing more so that we can get them more. But in the first place, it's like all this lagging in the first place. Like, why didn't you just do this? But instead we got to throw in these secret little bills that involve less carbon emissions in the future that have nothing to do with the coronavirus right now. We gotta really give. I can't remember all of them, man. They were so bad. We read a lot of them online there. Let's see, $24,000 worth of refrigerators behind her. So they say that's a refrigerator that costs $24,000. Oh yeah, look at this.
Oh wow.
And this is something you can get through the mail.
Okay.
Run out. Now show you.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the episode of Cribs I never knew I needed. Oh my! Wow.
Other people in our family go for some other flavors, but chocolate, and then we have some other chocolate here.
See, I've always felt a connection with you, and now I understand why.
Mm-hmm.
Since you've been isolating in your house, how much of your regular diet do you think is ice cream and candy?
Well, as much as possible. It is. I enjoy it. I like it better than anything else, and I don't know why, but it seems to agree with me. I have a lot of energy, and we just got to restock the ice cream right for Easter Sunday because we were, shall we say, enjoying. I don't know what I would have done if ice cream were not invented. I just wonder.
I agree. I don't know who I am without it. Well, thank you for that little.
Okay, so there's this other one here. I think this is the one. Let them eat ice cream. It's Nancy Pelosi. Yeah, I think this might be it here. If you put in Pelosi ice cream remix, and it's called "Let Them Eat Ice Cream," Nancy Antoinette, and I think this is the one where they remixed it with some really good results here. So good at the Googling, Mr. Man, Mr. Hard Hat.
$250 billion in 48 hours. I said, well, I don't think so. They objected, and I congratulate the Senate Democrats.
Speaker Pelosi, what are you going to share with us from your home?
Chocolate candy.
Thousands have been forced to wait for hours at food banks all across the country.
This is chocolate, and then we have some other chocolate here. We just got to restock the ice cream.
You don't want they know it at one time.
I can't do it much longer. I'm trying so hard.
We're, shall we say, enjoying.
Having to admit that, yeah, we're starving, and
I like it better than anything else.
Taping this segment, there are 22 million people out of
This
work.
specific program is about stopping today.
This is hurting people bad.
Other people in our family look for some other flavors, but
Right now, it's survival mode. You don't know where that next something else gonna come from.
I don't know what I would have done if ice cream were not invented. I just wonder.
I am Donald Trump, and I approve this
Man.
message.
That was a good one. I have not seen that one.
Isn't that great? Yeah, man. Geez, so much fun stuff here. We've gone through the whole doc. Is there anything pending that you wanted to talk about, David?
Not really, but one thing that just got brought to mind, I don't know if you guys were able to watch it, was that Corey Feldman documentary.
There's a Corey Feldman documentary?
Yeah, he released one called The Rape of Two Coreys like a week ago.
Get out of here. Can we watch that? Let's watch that trailer if we can.
Yeah, and he named names. One of the biggest names he named was Charlie Sheen.
Oh boy, let's get this. What's it on right now?
It's on his.
You have to get it from his thing.
Yeah,
All right, let's
yeah.
watch.
I actually saw it on YouTube, so I don't know if YouTube hasn't taken it down.
All right, I'm
Your interpretation of that 911 call, okay? I want to play it. You could hit play on this, okay? If you've heard the whole thing or whatever, just hit play whenever you're ready. Tell me who raped Corey Haim.
Why is it got to have parentheses? My truth. That was my truth. Well,
yeah, I'm trying to see if it's still on YouTube. I think they took it down.
Pay-per-view. So I guess he's not giving it out for free. So I guess you're out for money or something. What do you got?
No. Yeah, because there's some that say that's what it is, but so what people try to do was so he had a release in California in a theater, and he was also having it live streamed, and so it was going to be a release for people to buy online and watch it, and then another and the release in California. But what happened was that apparently they crashed his site, and they were threatening the theater and stuff like that. But so he wasn't able to let the people online watch it. But the people in California saw it, and then he did another one the next day, and that one ended up being fine. And there was one person who actually put the entire thing up, and I saw it the following day that it was up there. But I don't know. So there's some that say it, but it's just like the entire live stream, and you don't really watch it. So you have to look for the one that is actual, like the actual movie, or I think you could get it on his website. But it's really interesting, man. Like there's so much stuff that he talks about from directors and other actors that is just like, again, something you've always known, something a lot of people know. I think he wants to he wants to start like so Charlie Sheen is the biggest one that he says. Other ones are like other directors. I can't really remember the names, but I know that
that clip of him crying. What's he?
I think it was the phone call. They had him hear the phone call that Corey Ames had called about wanting to kill himself or something like that, and he talks about how it felt, because, and he even said, it was hard to believe it because Corey Ames had always kind of had that suicidal tendency. So even at the time, Feldman didn't really take it serious, And so for him to hear it again was kind of like, man, that was really the last time I spoke to him. You know what I mean? But there's like so much that he talks about, and there's other like actors and other people in the industry that come out. And then I'll try to get you the link, but some guy in so even with our church, we've been having a live stream and stuff like that. But one of the guys sent me a link to some video that this director ended up making, and within, I think it was within 4 days, it had about like 16 million views or something crazy like that. And it was pretty much like uncovering everything from like the producer side of like the Illuminati in the industry, and it was done by 3 guys who were in the industry and ended up kind of like becoming Christians within the last year, and they wanted to make this film to expose everything that was going on in Hollywood. So that was another crazy one.
So interesting, man. I ought to check
Yeah,
that out.
I'll try to find you those. Yeah, I'll try to find you those links too, because it's like a lot of crazy. You know, it's like it even talks about things like the coronavirus, and like it brings in a lot of like current stuff to like the last month. So it's like really, really current. And these guys, like even when they're interviewing them on tape, like they get really teary-eyed because it's like, man, I didn't know I was contributing to this the entire time.
Interesting. Well, dude, I might check that out. Let's can you put my that share screen on that I have there and see how videos work if I try to play them? Mr. Guy. Let's see here. Let's see, I'll play this here.
This is what I'm gonna do to you. Don't you ever do that shit again. You hear me? You hear me? No.
Oh, you can't hear that, can you?
Don't touch her again. You record this shit. Record this. No. She was touching a little girl. And I defended her. Listen to me. Oh, shit. Hey, girl, they not go. No, fuck you, Jock. I was the one that street. No, fuck me.
Can you guys hear it okay?
I mean, it's not best for a Reddit cell phone video, a wannabe Snoop Dogg filming, yeah? Is that Snoop Dogg filming?
Yeah. Snoop Dogg was like, get him.
That's locked and loaded right now. Fix this shit. Bill Gates, Microsoft, whoever the fuck. EA Sports, y'all motherfucking server is down. Get that shit back up. We trying to play. There's a bunch of motherfuckers at home that's locked and loaded right now. Fix this shit. Bill Gates, Microsoft, whoever the fuck. All these motherfucking bullshit ass vaccines y'all trying to give us. Fix the motherfucking video game, nigga. Now.
He's yelling at Bill Gates to get the servers back up. Like, Bill Gates has nothing to do with that shit. Who thinks Snoop Dogg's like irrelevant or even?
Dude, Snoop Dogg, I'll tell you right now, Snoop Dogg is a bitch, man. Did you see that? What happened with him and like retracting all that shit he talked about Oprah? Because Gail ended up talking shit about Kobe Bryant or whatever in some interview, and she got a lot of shit for it.
Oh, yeah, and he was all like, "Fuck you, bitch."
Yeah, and then Snoop goes off and starts talking shit about like Oprah. Why don't you talk about Harvey Weinstein, and why don't you release this and that? Like you're talking about Kobe with this thing, but Harvey Weinstein with all these girls. And then some government person ends up hitting Snoop Dogg up on Twitter, pretty much saying like, you better watch out what you say about Gail. If not, like you're gonna regret this and that. And then the next day, Snoop ends up putting it on Instagram like a video of like, look, man, I was just wilding out, but we have to have our voices heard. And, you know, it's like, man, you're such a bitch, Snoop. Like, you got so much in the industry that you're like just kissing ass because it's all about the money now. You know what I mean? Snoop, maybe he started off as a gangster, but he's a little bitch now. So now when I see him trying to act all hard, I'm like, shut the fuck up, Snoop. I'll beat the shit out of you. And I'll say that. I don't care. What's up, Snoop? You want to come at me? Come at me, son.
Is he like a real bad guy? Like I remember I lived in Diamond Bar one of the last years I lived in California, and I lived probably a couple miles from Snoop Dogg where he lived in Diamond Bar where he shot his little reality show. Like
see, I think someone like the game or like Suge Knight, those people I'd be afraid of. But Snoop is like with Martha Stewart all day drinking wine and fucking eating big crumpets, and I'm like, whatever, Snoop. You lost your gangster edge a long ass time ago, dude.
Yeah, he does have this one interview where he's talking, and saying something how he's trying to keep up with these rappers, and the rappers are just like bup da bup da bup, and he's like, hey man, leave it with that. And they were trying to have him go bup da bup da bup da bup, and he said, fuck that shit. Fuck that shit, man. I'm Snoop Dogg. I'm Snoop
Don't get me wrong.
Dogg.
I still Doggy Style is still one of my favorite albums of all time. But
Yeah, man.
That's all
Wow. Well, anyways, we're approaching the end of the broadcast here. So what some parting words that we can go by? There are some fun things to do while you are sitting at home for the quarantine. You know, you could get a jigsaw puzzle. I've been saying jigsaw puzzles are hard to come by these days. And
how's it been going with your leather work? Have you been like keeping up with that more?
Yeah, you know, I just got another order for one of these mustache wax holders that I make, cases.
Hell yeah.
Got an order from that. Matter of fact, it was serendipitous, by the way. He said he found the podcast and he was all like, hey man, do you host a podcast? And like we were talking about mustaches and shit. But anyways, that's the end of the show, you guys. We got to get out of here, right? It's very close to the end. So David, thank you once again. That's the Holy Hispanic on YouTube. Brandon the Hard Hat Mitchell. Yo, I'm Low saying that's right. I'm not sure exactly. We're done. Are we done?
10 seconds.
10 seconds left or what?
No, like 10 seconds.
Over?
left. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Gotta watch that. Clock.
Later.
Anyways. Oh, you didn't have to leave.
Dipped out real quick. All right. It's after show. What's up?
Yeah. Anyways,
All you cool cats and kittens.
yeah, are you cool cats and mittens?
Oh man, that was a rough start. I finally got the TV stream up.
How did that go? Did they just like go into it?
Oh, so Doug gave me one stream key and I was using that one, but he gave me another one when I did the test. But I guess he didn't change it back to the other one. So technically,
Well, I missed media policy class. It was supposed to be yesterday, I guess.
oh yeah,
Yeah, fuck that up.
I thought that's what the calendar said.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I fucked it up.
Yeah, we can get you next time.
Yeah, got me next time.
Open.
Let's see. David Aguilar sent me something. I was like, I don't know why you had to.
Yeah, he just dipped out real quick. Well, next week will be better. Hey, if anybody's listening, sorry about that.
Yeah, anyways. Shit. Anyways, thanks for watching. We should just cut the live stream from here.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.